If you live in a village called Sunnyside, which owes its existence to the pit, football is more than just a game, it can be an escape. Colin Walker has been in training on the local cow patch for as long as he could walk. He can now kick a football so skillfully that he's been described as the most wanted junior player in Britain. In fact, he's become a prize exhibit in the magic roundabout of children's football. 15 professional soccer clubs are on the market for his signature. Colin is 12 and a half years old. His father, Stan Walker, is a miner, proud of his son, but bewildered by the number of soccer scouts he's met during the last 3 years and the praise lavished on Colin. One scout told him that his boy was better than George Best at the age of 12. Like many boys, Colin lives for football, and his own private world reflects his dreams. He wants to be like Bobby Charlton, and he's been given the impression that he's on his way. He began playing with his school team at the age of 8, and a year later he joined the Rother Valley under-11 team. In this part of the world, South Yorkshire, the age of discovery starts at 9. Tommy Docherty, then team manager of Rotherham United, saw Colin score 3 goals and immediately invited him to the club for training sessions. Even then, Docherty was sure of Colin's future and told his mother so.
So he said that he could see that footballers have sometimes got it in their feet, but Colin's got it up here, and a combination of both sort of wanted looking after, you know. He was a nice man, you know, we liked him, and what he said sort of, it stuck, didn't it? And all his words, what he did say, are coming true.
That was the beginning. Colin was on the market. When Tommy Docherty moved to Aston Villa, he invited Colin and his parents to spend a week at the club during the school holidays.
Lovely, everything was first class, you know, and we took another boy down with us who played with Colin, and Tommy Docherty used to call for him from the hotel in the morning and take them down training for the morning, then bring them back at the afternoon. Really first class.
All expenses paid?
Yeah.
You ate well?
Yes, marvellous, yeah.
Who else came after that?
I think Leeds was the next one to come to the door, you know, and then...
What happened then? What happened?
Well, he came and said that they'd had some reports on him and that he'd keep in touch for us to go down and meet Don Revie sometime and to give Colin a trial with Prodigy Juniors.
And did you?
We went down to meet Don Revie, yes, about 3 weeks since. Watched Leeds play Coventry, which was very funny because the week before we was down at Coventry.
What was even funnier was the number of clubs throughout Britain which followed in the footsteps of Don Revie, Tommy Docherty and Noel Cantwell. Obviously, the northern clubs were in the forward line. Manchester United sent a scout, and so did Huddersfield Town. Sheffield United sent their team coach round to Colin's home, and Colin continued training twice a week for Rotherham United. Coventry and Aston Villa were joined in the Midlands by Wolves and by Leicester City. Not to be outdone by this, the London clubs came in with a rush. Spurs, Arsenal and Chelsea, where Colin and his parents will spend part of their Christmas holidays. Oh, and just for good measure, Notts Forest and Reading are also interested. Every Sunday, up to 15 professional scouts have turned up for the matches of the Rother Valley Old Boys team. Colin plays inside left and has scored 20 goals this season. Some of the players here have already signed what's known as schoolboy forms, which allow a boy to be associated with the professional club. This means that when a boy reaches 15 and is eligible to become a professional apprentice, he's tied to the club he joined when he was only 13 years old. That's if the club still wants him. If it doesn't, the boy is either on the market again, or more likely he's suddenly hunting an ordinary job without necessarily the qualifications he might otherwise have gained. It's a system which many school teachers feel can fill a boy's head with grand illusions about a career in football to the detriment of his education. Schoolmaster Jack Watkin feels that junior football is becoming more like a cattle market every season.
Well, the professional scouts watch just about every schoolboy match of any importance that is played. If they see someone who obviously they feel is going to make a good footballer, off they go to see his parents, and the pressure starts. Parents are invited to visit the club, the boy is invited to visit the club, to come along for training sessions, and I put training in inverted commas, because obviously this is not for the benefit of the boy, it's for the benefit of the club.
What sort of promises are made to these young boys?
Well, obviously the promise of you will be a footballer with our club. First of all, the carrot dangled in front of the boy's eyes. If he feels that he's going to be a great player with his favourite club, this very often is sufficient for the boy. Financial inducements, we've heard, are sometimes offered. I was once offered by an agent of a first division club £200 if I could talk one of our boys into going to this club.
The manager of the Rother Valley team is a headmaster and, curiously, a scout for a professional football club, Reading. He's the man parents often come to for advice.
A lot of clubs have no scruples at all, none whatsoever. They build up boys, they build up parents, they give them promises, and then, well, let's be honest, they don't keep them.
And sums of money do pass hands. It's an open secret.
I have heard this, yes.
I have been told by players, you know, that you get things when they sign, you know.
How much?
Well, it's...
You don't know really, do you?
No, I'm not saying.
It's not, you see, it's what they've said, like, you know, well, if I signed this, I'd make sure of this and I'd make sure of that. But money doesn't enter into it at all. Not one bit. If Colin didn't want to go to that club, choose how much they tried to offer us, it wouldn't influence us to sign.
Colin will be 13 on May the 1st next year, when he'll be old enough to sign the most ambiguous contract in football, the schoolboy form. And this is what Colin could sign. They call it the blue form, and it officially registers an individual schoolboy with a professional soccer club. Many schoolboys have the mistaken impression that this is their entry form for stardom, that once they've signed on the dotted line, they're virtually young professionals. But even officials who've administered this scheme for the past 7 years say it's very much open to abuse. No football club is allowed to sign on more than 40 boys, but some clubs just ignore the rules. Many of these forms will never reach the football authorities once they've been signed. They're either filed away for some future date or simply forgotten, as all the boys will be if they don't make the grade at 15. The English Schools Football Association aims at promoting the mental, moral and physical development of schoolboys through soccer. Its head office is in Stafford.
I regret to say that many of these representatives, who are the worst possible kind of individual at times, I'm not talking about the reputable scouts, but those who I would refer to as stouts, these people are doing immense harm, not only for the sport, their individual club, but very much so for the schoolboy, which is our prime interest.
Despite the concern in official schools football, their association is inevitably like a junior team taking on Leeds United. It's designed to cope with a world where gentlemen's agreements are never broken. Professional football isn't always like that. In fact, some clubs have tried to sign on entire junior teams. The Schools Association is determined to strengthen the rules, but it can't control Sunday matches and it can't stop scouts approaching boys and their parents. Next year, another 1,000 boys will sign, hopefully, for professional clubs at the age of 13. Only a handful will ever become top-class footballers. Colin Walker, now rich in soccer experience at the age of 12, knows what he wants to do.
I want to wait till I'm 15, till I sign on.
You don't want to sign
No,
at
not
30?
when I'm 13.
Why not?
There's various reasons you can think I should sign on for them and I shouldn't. You know, like if I sign up for Rotherham, a team like Manchester might come, and that's it, I can't go down there. But if I don't sign on and wait till I'm 15, then I can make my own mind up. I don't think I'm old enough to make it up now.
Number 3!